First, let's see if chat is working, because sometimes chat doesn't work. Chat's working. Good. Okay, so here we have a pickup game between a bunch of different people on Discord who happen to be online. They flip for captains, then draft players. Let's look at what has been drafted. Both teams got some really strong drafts there. We got Ricky AA on this side and Magnus Oracle on the other. Some bans. Those are pretty reasonable bans. Banning out Medusa and Omni Knight Spectre. No one wants to deal with them. Io, Viper, and Shadow Demon. Surprised about the Shadow Demon ban. I would expect like an AA right there. Or a Ricky. But instead, Dire got both. Got the PA on Radiant team. It's going to do a lot of damage. Banned out 2 popular carries. Other team also banned out 2 popular carries. Both teams banned out a tank last. Their picking orders are actually really similar. It's kind of funny. The 2 teams have a really similar drafting style, clearly. I missed the beginning of picking, so I'm catching myself up right now. I'm excited to see Jakiro. He's good. We don't see a lot of Jakiro. Jakiro's awesome. Alright, so they're on their last picks now. So let's see how that goes. We grab Lion for tons of disables. Now this team has all the disable in the world because Lion's really ridiculous. And then let's see what they last pick. Funny thing about Lion and what's his name? This guy. Shadow Shaman? Is that Shadow Shaman? Yeah, Lion and Shadow Shaman both have something really in common with each other in OAA, which is that they have like a bunch of the best disable in the business and really bad ultimates. Their ults are just not good. Neither of their ultimates scale particularly well. But they have so much disable that they don't need their ultimates to scale well. Their ultimates are good early game to make stuff happen. And then late game, they're all disabled. They're just disabling machines late game. I'm waiting for this game to start. I'm also kind of poking around looking to see if there's anyone who wants to cast with me. As is traditional in OAA, everyone's spamming audio things during the pause. It's just what you do. So we'll see what these teams choose to do in their beginning rotations. I always think the beginning of the game is really interesting to see what everyone does right away. Take a look at some starting items. I've seen this starting item set a couple of times. You just get 4 slippers of agility because they're really cost effective, and you slowly upgrade them into a spectacular. Since it requires 4 Ring of Aculus to build. You end up using all of them. Alright, first duel. Who's got a good first duel team this game? Both teams have pretty decent first duel teams. I'm kind of believing in the Dire team because of AA. Because Chilling Touch is really strong. There's a Ricky to try to finish off the Magnus, but they're going to try to finish off the Ricky themselves. They're really trying to keep this Magnus alive, the team is. Nice. Yep, they managed to take down Pawn and Derby before the Magnus dies, so the Radiant team gets first blood. That's really good for them. It actually looks like the Radiant team's in pretty good position. Varna's still alive, which is a problem, but I don't think he can take down all these heroes. Oh, but Lion engages them with them alone. They're starting to gain high ground. They're actually looking like they're in pretty decent position. They need to just keep getting this damage out. Nice. This is going well. Excuse me. Alright.
Thou art damned.
Alright. Lauren will just stand still and lets the duel end. That also makes sense because their team doesn't have as good camp clear as the Radiant team. Whichever team has the best camp clear. Ooh, Radiant team's bad. They gave up the bounty rune right there. Bounty runes are great. Just that level 1 quick 2x bounty rune for your team. So they got 3x that time for theirs. And they're positioning themselves rather aggressively. I like it. I like it when teams just go straight to the other side and try to take their farm. It's funny because we see the same thing happening on the other team, just slower. Basically the exact same rotation, although they're coming here for Larnel instead of trying to go for the easy camp themselves. I think they're gonna... Yeah, for some reason Larnel had just recently blinked, so it was on cooldown, and he dies for it. Yep. We see Dire putting up pretty dominant vision. I really like the way that Dire set up their vision. It's very defensive down here. They're making sure to protect at least one of their corner creeps, and then they also have center high ground vision. And we get a disconnect auto pause. It's too bad. See how long it takes Lion to come back. ETA is a bunch of scrubs. Apparently they've been playing PUGs all day. Did they play any games as an actual ETA team? I love this build up. It's like actually pretty good. Especially for heroes that just can't farm early game. Like Phantom Assassin. She's such a hard time farming early on. Not so much with a Magnus on your team, but she usually has a hard time farming early on. It is interesting to see, even though you have the free cleave, which guarantees you easy farm, going for the Stacula instead of going for a quick Battle Fury. Because I actually, when I have a Magnus on my team, like to go for a really, really quick Battle Fury. Because the build-up for Battle Fury is not nearly as good as the build-up for Spectacular. But the completed Battle Fury is wildly better for a melee hero. So I really like rushing Battle Fury first. Let's see if the line manages to get out of there. He does not. Xenon's going to throw out some slows and run away, but there's 4 of this Dire team here. I love the mix of different teams here. I think all 4 of these people are on different competitive teams. Who's their 5th? Do they have any matches? Okay, and then they have 2. They do have 2 ETA members here. Alright, Magnus comes in to help out the Radiant team. See, I see the entire Dire team rotating back. I wonder if they're going to go for their boss now. It's usually then the reason you'd send all your supports back like that. Yeah, we also see them finishing their boots and stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me if that was their next mission. See the Animage going straight for the Battle Fury, which is pretty important on Animage, obviously. No, they're actually just all going back to just heal up completely and then TP back in as a group, full health and full mana. That's interesting. You don't really see that often. Alright, well, I mean, a bunch of full health supports, all here to get some kills. They're going to get some kills. That's what will happen. They place a very aggressive ward, try to get some vision on what they're doing. And now this is going to take camps, and that's a really good idea. Since they're a solid little group, they could take this camp down, but it's ridiculous that just solo Milkshake clears a larger, harder camp in a quicker amount of time at the same time. Solo right next to them. So this PA is getting big, but the PA does still rely on the Magnus for cleave, since she did not go for early cleave. I wonder if she's not going to go for any cleave at all at first and just go for pure single target damage. We usually see cleave, especially since cleave is so in the meta right now, because everyone's obsessed with the fact that it's pure damage. So it's hot right now. They drop a really smart sentry, find the Ricky, and they're just going to kill the shit out of him. Little itty bitty Ricky can't survive something like that. Eclair comes in and finishes off one of the supports, and we see more supports TPing in. There we go. Xenon places a great ice path to kind of break things up. Alaska trying to finish off Eclair, but doesn't quite get the damage out. And the AA TPs in to help out their teammate. You see Derpy farming underneath a bunch of sentry wards and wondering why he's taking so much damage from the Radiant team. Going for that burn damage. Is he going to burn to death? He does burn to death. And Xenon gets a kill. Wasn't even a neutral creep kill. That is hilarious. See, PA still just farming. It's got the completed Desolator now. This team can really easily take a boss. I assume they're just going to wait for the duel. And then they'll probably take a boss right after the duel. So especially so that Phantom Assassin can get some passive cleave going on. As opposed to constantly needing the Magnus for that. Nice. PA just going in, just not that afraid of everyone. Let's take a look at the hero levels. Animage is a higher level than her, but Animage doesn't do quite as much with early levels as a PA does. Looks like she does get bursted down, but kills the Animage along with him. So the cores of the two different teams trade with one another, and it just leaves the remaining bulk of their teams. Who's got better bulk? I think the Ricky's going to wreak havoc. Even with the sentry ward down, Ricky deals decent damage. Although there's 3 supports here now, all kind of focusing them. And they have great lockdown. The combos finally come out, the spells come out, and they burst down those supports. And Eclair will die too. Yes, there are ETA players on both teams. This is a pickup game, and the way that they start these games is they just get 10 random people in the Discords, usually all competitive players, or at least people interested in the competitive scene. And are both teams going for boss? This team will go for boss. They roll to, in chat during picking screen during the team select screen to see who the captains will be, and then the captains roll to see who gets which team, and then they take turns picking players. And so this time, ETA players got drafted onto both teams because there were 3 of them in this pickup game. And ETA is pretty good, so they got picked up. In fact, there's also 2 different, giraffes are yellow? You draft players like you draft heroes. Yeah, I think they have a specific order to them and stuff. We see mass Tranks. Tranks are taking over. I think the problem with Tranks is that the early levels of them are insanely powerful. Like, when I go Tranks, I don't upgrade them until I'm going for tier 4 items. Level 1 Tranks can carry you all the way to tier 4, no problem. Because there's double scaling with them, because you're also getting the reward from the creep. Yeah, that, you know? You got a quick 3,500 gold, and you got a bunch of golden experience as well. He's not going to get away with it, though. Oh yeah. I don't remember if that game with Omni Knight was yet another game that we lost because we fed a lot of MMR to pubs last night. We were not playing well. Yeah, it's nice playing games during US times. It's morning for me. Yeah, we surrendered. Yeah, I think the only games we won are when I picked Viper. And then even then we lost one of those. We were not the best 5-stack that's ever been. There were also a bunch of members of Exonerated on the enemy team, so they were tryharding against us. Both teams finished their bosses. Yeah. Mass Tranks versus Mass Tranks. Is it 3 each? Nope. There's this 4-1 and 3-1 on the 2 different teams. Obviously, PA is not going to go for Tranks. There's few heroes that don't go for Tranks. PA is one of them. And they're hunting down Eclair, who is constantly stealing their corner creeps. which is the way to go. That's one of the things that makes these so strong. Wow, Arnold's actually pretty huge. He's level 24. I thought Milkshake was doing well, and he is not. Holy crap. This level 24 Animage is here to just kill your team now. I hope you don't mind. Yeah, that's what he's gonna do. Where's the seeding for the tournament? I need to finish the seeding for the tournament. That's something that I need to do. I also need to ask all the teams for their suggested seeds if they want to give feedback on the seeding of who they think the top teams are. That was something we did for the anniversary tournament, and I think it worked really well.
'Tis mine.
Tournament's in less than a week, so I guess signups should close really soon. So that way we can finalize seed. Alright, we see Radiant Team going for a couple more bosses. Dire Team's doing the same. Yeah, Animage has Butterfly. Butterfly, Animage can kind of just solo bosses, especially with the bash interrupting attacks. The simple bosses are really, really easy for him. NIW top team. NIW is really, really good. That's for sure. You guys have lost at least one scrim, right? Though, who did you lose a scrim to? I forget. I haven't posted all my scrims on YouTube yet, so I haven't reviewed a lot of the recent outcomes. You guys won against ETA. I'm quite sure of that. Or I just wanted you to win so bad that I believed you did.
Loaded to the gills.
You guys just shit talking in the community Discord. Blame seeding, of course. Yep. If anything goes wrong, I know that you guys are just gonna blame seeding. That's classic ETA OTA strats. That's actually been their tournament strat since the first tournament. You know, they did really, really well in the first tournament because they focused on gameplay and space creation, and ever since then, they've focused on complaining about seeding. Saw courier come and go. Was there a bloodstone? Nope, they were just getting an item delivered. Look at these teams just spacing around each other. Neither of them really want to engage, but here comes Larnell to engage. He's just got Ricky inside of him, and he is here to try to kill the Phantom Assassin. The Phantom Assassin just isn't able to do anything. Does heal back to full because Oracle's amazing. And gets a couple of attacks out himself. Meanwhile, Larnell's running around these supports and just four-shotting them all. He's going to go for the Phantom Assassin now. The Jakiro and the Magnus are both still alive. But he's like, that's fine. It's time to finish you off, and now I'll kill your supports. Spider Boss is definitely an excuse. Spider Boss lags for a minute, but it doesn't cause lasting lag. You need to get more RAM or something. It doesn't affect my computer. Or turn down your settings. If it's causing like consistent lag for the rest of the game afterwards, turn down your settings. Or close other programs. My computer is pretty mid-tier. It is really not a great PC. I'm sure it frame skips all the time while I'm streaming. But I don't experience bad lag after Spider Boss. Only when the Spider Boss spawns. The whole game just pauses. And that we do need to fix. I think what we can do is make it so that the Spider Boss like staggers the spawns. So it doesn't ever spawn more than one spider on the same frame. So we can spread them all out, so that way the loading increments happen slowly instead of all at once. Or we can pre-spawn a bunch. If we pre-spawned a bunch during loading time, then it would just be laggy during loading time, and then the rest of the game would be fine. This is only when you reach a new high water mark, because it recycles the units. Capture points are active. This game is pretty even. Larnell's really, really strong. They don't really have a response to this Animage yet. He's nuts. Great RP, but I think he's just going to try to... Oh, the double into the well. Let's go. How did he deny himself? Oh, he's got a Bloodstone. That's funny. I assume that Bloodstone is probably going to become a Aeon Disc, so that way he can't get bursted down by the Phantom Assassin. This is what we missed out on thanks to Spider Boss. I don't understand how you could miss out on those things thanks to Spider Boss. You can still do those things after the Spider Boss. In fact, I'm pretty sure, didn't your team use a Spider Boss pause to jump on the enemy in a really, really coordinated way and like get a huge kill? I think the Spider Boss actually helped you guys more than it hurt you. Yeah, the way I remember it, Spider Boss pauses helped you guys out a bunch, and then you johned later and said that that was the reason that some of your teammates gave up. Teams fighting over the ancient stack. It looked like Dyer got most of those because I think Ricky was just behind them cleaning them all up. Ricky Ultimate is now the size of the fucking screen, and this Radiant team just needs to sit there and eat the damage, but the Ricky doesn't do that much damage yet, so instead it's mostly still just Larnell duking it out. The Queen Panin herself, I know Panin sings her song, breaks up the fight, and lets Dire Team disengage really cleanly. Some of the great things about the song, it doesn't need to be initiating, it doesn't even need to be mid-fight. You can literally use it at any point in the fight, and it's good. You can use it to disengage, you can use it to reset the fight and restore everyone's HP. It's so good. I already used Hex in the previous fight. I also didn't pay attention. The way I remember it, you guys blew your cooldowns on the thing before it, wasn't it? So what you're saying is there was a Spider Boss right as the final duel was starting, and it caused you to miss all your shit? Oh my god, Ricky finally does damage! That's awesome. Alright, these teams taking down bosses, chat being salty about scrims. Typical day in the OAA world. You see this Dire team jumping in. Magnus actually pushes the Ricky ultimate deeper into the base and manages to do a lot more damage to some other people. Milkshake has taken a lot of damage here. I suspect he's going to pop when that ultimate ends. That's good. It's actually really good that that didn't happen before the duel, or after the duel, I mean. Because if it happened after the duel started, he would have spawned into the duel with the Oracle ultimate on him, having taken all that damage, and then probably popped. Although I guess the heal from the duel would heal him back up again, theoretically. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how that specific one would interact. Yeah, wow, Larnell and Derpy, this Ricky Animage combo is insane. Ricky is really, really, really strong right now. Your ward got destroyed by Charger. He does that. That's funny. You don't see that happen very often. When you do, I just think it's hilarious. Charger destroys anything that isn't a hero when he charges through, including wards. That was originally put in so that he would destroy Phantom Lancer illusion armies, because Phantom Lancer is really strong against all the bosses back then. You see the net worth strongly in favor of Dire Team here. I suspect levels also. Yeah, the Dire Team generally has a lot more high level. In fact, so the Radiant Team only has one character at level 25. So Radiant's really falling behind in farm here. Excuse me. I see the PA went triple dagger, which isn't entirely uncommon, but it's really interesting to see. Although, also went for -4 armor instead of extra cleave. But I guess you can buy... Oh, wait. He doesn't even have cleave. That's weird. You got all those daggers, but didn't buy cleave. I always buy cleave on Phantom Assassin. Sometimes even double cleave. Someplace that does bagel sandwiches. I'd be really into that. I'm feeling very allergenic. Yeah, I'll do that after this game. So Anti-Mage, sleepy or something. I like the way he skates. He's a skateboarding Anti-Mage. Radical, dude. Tubular. Alright, get me out of here. What are the teams up to? Radiant's just kind of farming. They're doing a lot of high ground farming, which isn't the best, but, you know, you gotta farm. Phantom Assassin even has backpacked power treads. So at this point, Phantom Assassin is like only Magnus cleave. That's the only cleave that Phantom Assassin has. I don't know if I agree with that. Feels weird, man. Yeah, the animation is really goofy looking. I wonder what causes that. Someone would get stuck in that state, and that's pretty funny. It's also interesting because you can't see him putting out attacks, and it's actually, like, pretty good. Ooh, we getting double bashed by the ogre isn't very good. We see some of the teammates spot each other out. I wonder if Radiant will scout out that the Dire team's going for this boss over here. Initiating in on this would be phenomenal. Larnell's super low. They already just lost their Ricky, so like they'd be able to get rid of all the damage right away. But I think they're just not aware enough, and they don't have the initiation prepared. They're capping their own point up here anyway. They're all about to get ice blasted though. Yeah, I'll get hit with the ice splash, which is too bad. They go back to well with an ice blast, as if that does something. Okay. Maybe once this is done, you want to just walk to Cozy with me? Okay. Drop on a wall, because why not? Apparently all of the building HPs are supposed to be fixed now. There's another wall up here, too. Taken down. Larnell's running over this team. He's super duper huge. It's pretty ridiculous. Also, Larnell's looking normal again. He's got all his animations back. No longer skateboarding Larnell. I miss skater Larnell, though. Look at these walls. That's hilarious. Another 5v5 duel. We're getting a lot of 5v5 duels this game. The cool thing about getting lots of intermittent 5v5 duels, Larnell just kind of staying up there for some reason. is that it gives you a really good idea of how the final duels are going to go if they do start to get procced if one of the teams is in the lead. Because if the team that's behind starts to win these 5v5 duels, then it shows that there's a comeback happening and they're likely to put the game into overtime. This game, on the other hand, that is not happening. It was just a clean 5-man fight. And I think that's a GG. Yep. That is a GG. They are done. They don't want to play against Skateboarding Larnell or Cleaving Ricky anymore. It is too good. All right.